Hey there anime fans. Today's video we're going to see the top 10 anime where the main character is strong but has a dark past. If you are new to this channel, feel free to hit the subscribe button for more amazing anime content. Without further ado, let's get started. In the year 2021, a parasitic virus known as Gastria infects humans and turns them into monsters. What is left of mankind now lives within the monolith walls that are made of baranium, the only material that can hurt Gastria. To counter the threat that the Gastria pose, cursed female children whose bodies contain trace amounts of the virus which grant them superhuman abilities, officially called initiators by the Tendo Civil Security, are given partners called promoters, people who work to guide and protect the young initiators. These teams of 2 are sent out on missions to fight the monsters created by the Gastria virus and keep them at bay. Black Bullet revolves around the team of Enju Ihara, an initiator, and Satomi Rentaro, a promoter, as they go on missions to fight the growing threat of Gastria in their hometown of Tokyo. One night, as meteors streak across the star-studded sky, Shion Pavlichenko becomes a contractor. Despite her brother's transformation, Shion's twin sister Suu continues to live a fairly ordinary life, attending middle school with her friends and getting caught up in the awkwardness of growing up. However, everything changes when her home is invaded by a masked man cloaked in black, destroying any sense of normality she once had. Revealed to possess latent contractor abilities of her own, Suu is caught between family, friends, and her own sense of purpose as she ventures into the ruthless world of cutthroats and espionage that contractors call home. Meanwhile in Tokyo, investigation surrounding Hell's Gate's sudden collapse is underway, and prophetic signs of doom point in the direction of a silver-haired doll. On the surface, Kyoto Ikisei Senior High School is a utopia. The students enjoy an unparalleled amount of freedom, and it is ranked highly in Japan. However, the reality is less than ideal. 4 classes, A through D, are ranked in order of merit, and only the top classes receive favorable treatment. Kiyotaka Ayana Kauji is a student of Class D, where the school dumps its worst. There he meets the unsociable Suzune Horikita, who believes she was placed in Class D by mistake and desires to climb all the way to Class A, and the seemingly amicable class idol Kikyu Kushida, whose aim is to make as many friends as possible. While class membership is permanent, class rankings are not. Students in lower ranked classes can rise in rankings if they score better than those in the top ones. Additionally, in Class D, there are no bars on what methods can be used to get ahead. In this cutthroat school, can they prevail against the odds and reach the top? It looked like it would be a normal day for Ganta Igarashi and his classmates. They were preparing to go on a class field trip to a certain prison amusement park called DEADMAN Wonderland, where the convicts perform dangerous acts for the onlookers' amusement. However, Ganta's life is quickly turned upside down when his whole class gets massacred by a mysterious man in red. Framed for the incident and sentenced to death, Ganta is sent to the very jail he was supposed to visit. But Ganta's nightmare is only just beginning. The young protagonist is thrown into a world of sadistic inmates and enigmatic powers to live in constant fear of the lethal collar placed around his neck that is slowed only by winning in the prison's deathly games. Ganta must bet his life to survive in a ruthless place where it isn't always easy to tell friend from foe, all while trying to find the mysterious red man and clear his name in DEADMAN Wonderland. For weeks, Atsushi Nakajima's orphanage has been plagued by a mystical tiger that only he seems to be aware of. Suspected to be behind the strange incidents, the 18-year-old is abruptly kicked out of the orphanage and left hungry, homeless, and wandering through the city. While starving on a riverbank, Atsushi saves a rather eccentric man named Osamu Dazai from drowning. Whimsical suicide enthusiast and supernatural detective, Dazai has been investigating the same tiger that has been terrorizing the boy. Together with Dazai's partner Doppo Funikita, they solve the mystery, but its resolution leaves Atsushi in a tight spot. As various odd events take place, Atsushi is coerced into joining their firm of supernatural investigators, taking on unusual cases the police cannot handle, alongside his numerous enigmatic co-workers. In times of need, if you look in the right place, you just may see a strange telephone number scrawled in red. If you call this number, you will hear a young man introduce himself as the Yado god. Yado is a minor deity and a self-proclaimed delivery god who dreams of having millions of worshippers. Without a single shrine dedicated to his name, however, his goals are far from being realized. He spends his days doing odd jobs for 5 yen apiece until his weapon partner becomes fed up with her useless master and deserts him. Just as things seem to be looking grim for the god, his fortune changes when a middle school girl, Hiyori Aiki, supposedly saves Yado from a car accident, taking the hit for him. Remarkably, she survives, but the event has caused her soul to become loose and hence able to leave her body. Hiyori demands that Yado return her to normal, but upon learning that he needs a new partner to do so, reluctantly agrees to help him find one. And with Hiyori's help, Yado's luck may finally be turning around. Kogoro Akechi is the founder of a private investigation firm known as the Boy Detectives Club. Together, this group takes on cases both great and small. One of their junior members, Kensuke Hanasaki, is out solving a case one day when he happens upon Yoshio Kobayashi, a mysterious amnesiac boy with an inability to die. After seeing his abilities in action, Kensuke offers Yoshio a deal. Join the Boy Detectives Club and help them solve cases, and in exchange, he will find a way to help Yoshio die. The apathetic Yoshio accepts this deal begrudgingly, unaware of how different his life will become. Although he does not have much use for people, he gradually begins to acknowledge the group as he spends more time with them while solving cases. Trickster? Edogawa Rampo Shounen Tante and Yori follows Akechi and the rest of the Boy Detectives Club as they solve the various cases they are given, all while combating a hidden threat from the shadows, the fiend with 20 faces. Putting his life on the line, Willem Kmetch leaves his loved ones behind and sets out to battle a mysterious monster, and even though he is victorious, he is rendered frozen in ice. It is during his icy slumber that terrifying creatures known as beasts emerge on the Earth's surface and threaten humanity's existence. Willem awakens 500 years later, only to find himself the sole survivor of his race as mankind is wiped out. Together with the other surviving races, Willem takes refuge on the floating islands in the sky, living in fear of the beasts below. He lives a life of loneliness and only does odd jobs to get by. One day, he is tasked with being a weapon storehouse caretaker. Thinking nothing of it, Willem accepts, but he soon realizes that these weapons are actually a group of young leprechauns. Though they bear every resemblance to humans, they have no regard for their own lives, identifying themselves as mere weapons of war. Among them is Tfuli Nota Seniorius, who is more than willing to sacrifice herself if it means defeating the beasts and ensuring peace. Willem becomes something of a father figure for the young leprechauns, watching over them fondly and supporting them in any way he can. He, who once fought so bravely on the front lines, can now only hope that the ones being sent to battle return safely from the monsters that destroyed his kind. Yuji Kazami is a transfer student who has just been admitted into Mahama Academy. He wants to live an ordinary high school life, but this dream of his may not come true anytime soon, as Mahama Academy is quite the opposite. Consisting of only the principal and 5 other students, all of whom are girls, Yuji becomes acquainted with each of them, discovering more about their personalities as socialization is inevitable. Slowly, he begins to learn about the truth behind a small group of students occupying the academy. They each have their own share of traumatic experiences which are tucked away from the world. Mahama Academy acts as a home for these girls. They are the fruit which fell from their trees and have begun to decay. It is up to Yuji to become the catalyst to save them from themselves, but how can he save another when he cannot even save himself? Haruka Ozawa's sophomore year is getting seriously scary. One of her friends is possessed, another has committed suicide, and Haruka could be the next one to flunk the still-breathing test. Her only way out of this potentially lethal dead end? Yakumo Sato, an enigmatic student born with a mysterious red eye that allows him to see and communicate with the dead. But the deceased don't always desist, and some killers are more than ready to kill again to keep dead men from telling any more tales. That doesn't stop Haruka's knack for digging up buried secrets, and there's even more evidence of bodies being exhumed by both Yakumo's police contact and an investigative journalist with a newly made corpse in her closet. Can this pair of anything but normal paranormal detectives solve the ultimate dead case files, or will they end up in cold storage themselves? So what do you think of this list? Their name and which is your favorite anime where the main character is the strongest but has a dark past? Comment below and let us know. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you want to see more anime related content. I'll see you next time here in Anatu.